Hi, my name is Avril Salter, and what we're going to talk about today is how to configure your access point with the right channel. And to do that, we're going to go into configure our access point, and we're also going to use a spectrum analyzer to take a look at what else is operating in our preferred frequency band. So I've gone into my browser and keyed in the IP address that will allow me to access my access point, and I'm now going to log in. I'm going to select Setup because I want to change the settings, and I want to change the wireless settings. So now you can see the settings of my access point as they're currently set up. You can see here that I've set my SSID, my network name, as Avril's network. You can see that I'm operating in a mixed mode, supporting both BG and N devices because I do have some legacy equipment still operating in my home office. I'm currently operating on channel 6 in the 2.4 gigahertz band, and I'm set up here to operate in a 20 megahertz channel. So let's now go and take a look at our spectrum analyzer and see what's happening in the 2.4 gigahertz band. So this is my spectrum analyzer, and you can see that here is my network, Avril's network that we were just looking at, and I have the strongest signal because I'm sitting right next to the access point. Also operating in this band here in pink is my neighbor's access point, a little bit further away, so the signal is quite a bit weaker. And over here, operating in the same channel as my access point, is another wireless LAN. And what this wireless LAN is my projector. So I have a wireless projector that allows me to transmit between my computer and the projector using the 802.11 technologies, and that is currently also set up on channel 6. Now if we come down here, you can see that both my network, Avril's network, and the neighbor's network, both capable of transmitting up to 130 megabits per second. So what you can see is that I should really move my wireless LAN up to channel 11, because if I move it up to channel 11 I can avoid interference with my projector's wireless LAN connection. So let's go back and do that. So I've gone back into my access point, and I'm now going to select channel 11. And of course that will move me now up to the higher frequency band. But not only am I going to select channel 11, I'm also here going to select auto channel 2040 megahertz. And I can take advantage of using a 40 megahertz band. And you may say, oh Avril, if you go to a 40 megahertz channel, that's going to interfere with your projector wireless LAN. And that is true. But the way the 802.11n works is that if it detects interference in the secondary channel, then it'll actually go back and just use the primary channel, which is what I've set up as channel 11. And so because my projector I don't use all the time, when I'm not using it I'll be able to leverage off the 40 megahertz channel and get to higher data rates, but when I am using the projector system it'll throttle it back to the 20 megahertz channel, and of course my data rates will drop as well. So let's go ahead and save those settings, and then we'll go back and take a look at our channel analyzer. So we need to give our access point a little bit of time to reset itself to the new channel that I've selected. There it goes, and you can see now that it's operating on channel 11. I also want to point out that if you come down here and look next to where Avril's network is displaying here, and you can see that my maximum data rate has now increased from 130 megabits per second up to 300 megabits per second, because obviously I'm using more channel bandwidth. I'm able to get up to a higher data rate. So we've taken a look at where the wireless LANs are transmitting, and we've made some decisions about what channel I want to deploy my wireless LAN on and what channel width I want to have my 802.11n operating on. But we haven't looked at other equipment that may be operating in this band, so let's do that now. I do that by selecting this button here called Current on this tool, and that will display any other signals that are also operating in the 2.4 gigahertz band. And you can see that there is other equipment transmitting right across this band, and you may be wondering, well, what is that equipment? I can tell from the signal shape that it's not a wireless LAN. It could be a cordless phone, could be Bluetooth, could be Zigbee. In actual fact, what this is actually a proprietary system that has been built to also operate in the unlicensed 2.4 gigahertz band. And in my home, I generate solar energy, and that solar energy system gives me regular updates on how much energy that I'm actually generating. And those updates are transmitted from the solar panels to my home wirelessly. And as I mentioned, they're using a proprietary system, and this system happens to use the entire 2.4 gigahertz band. And so it's impossible for me to move my wireless LAN to a different channel and avoid that interference. So I have two choices here. I can continue to operate in the 2.4 gigahertz band and just tolerate a slight degradation of my system due to this interference. Or I can decide, hey, maybe I want to invest in an access point that can operate in the 5 gigahertz band, and I'll deploy a second access point for my 802.11n equipment such that it won't suffer this level of interference.